Hey, Pops, there's a party up on Mount Olympus today. I'm gonna go if that's alright.
Boy, you know you'll do nothing of the sort.
But Dad, everyone's gonna be there. All my aunts and uncles. It's like a family reunion. Dad!
I said no. You will remain here in our room and tend to your duties, you little brat.
Fuck you, Dad! You know what? Just fuck you, Dad! I'll run away, I'll go. You can't stop me. You're not the boss of me. Just fuck you, Dad!
Of all the things I regret having a child the most.
Hades. Oh my god, it's just the best kind of video game. It's a complete, what I would call a AAA package, except it's not what would be considered a AAA title, right? That's because it's made by Supergiant Games, who is a small indie studio based out of, I think, San Francisco, and it's composed of less than 24 people. Still, they make just simply amazing video games. These are the guys that brought us Bastion, Transistor, one of my all-time favorites, and now Hades. They're just fucking magnus opus. This game is absolutely everything a video game should be and a lot more. So buckle in, kids, because I'm about to go even deeper into this than I did my prom date. And honestly, the game itself best summarizes its overall experience. You know, it doesn't matter what you have seen or what you have done. It doesn't matter how far you made it or how quick you died. It doesn't matter if you just watched the end credits for the first or the 10th time. Your reaction will always be the same.
All right, one more time.
One more fucking time. But wait, let me back up. I am not really a big fan of roguelikes. And this is good, because Hades is actually a roguelite. Two terms that are often used interchangeably when they are far from the same thing. You see, unlike a roguelike experience, the combat in Hades, as you can see, is in real time, and within the game is a true sense of permanent progression. There's a fully fleshed out, brilliant even, story behind it, if mainly only for the amazingly written cast of characters and their dialogue, and there is certainly no permadeath here, as, well, I mean, you already start the game fucking dead, so how can there be? Also, the levels in Hades are not procedurally generated. There is a mix of room sets that may appear differently on any run, but you are always progressing through the same area types and boss challenges in a chronological order while pushing yourself to get further out of Hades and onto Mount Olympus itself. It may sound a bit boring on paper, but how the game introduces combat mechanics, stat boosts and decreases, and favors and god boons, no run ever really feels the same. And that's super fucking important for a game like this. Regardless, in the end, whether you die in the first room or you make it all the way to Mount Olympus, you will inevitably perish and rise again from this disgusting sort of community cesspool in the House of Hades, where each and every run begins. Which brings us to one of the only things I don't really like about this game, and that's this motherfucker, Hypnos. He is a son of a bitch, and I hate him, and I want him to die, because he's always waiting here to talk shit about your last run.
Oh, so Megara herself got you last time.
Yeah, she did.
Been intense.
Yeah, it was kind of rough.
She's fast and strong and beautiful.
She was kind of tight, yeah. I don't know about beautiful.
Anyway, I hope the fates are nicer to you next time.
Wow, that's the nicest you've probably ever been to me, and I still think you're a piece of shit, and I still want you to die.
Hello? Can I just say ouch? Because according to the list here, you got flattened like a pancake by a
Yes,
smoke
I did.
crusher
Yes,
out
I
in
did.
Nashville somewhere. Keep that up, and you're gonna get even shorter.
Fuck you, fucking piece of shit.
I'm up. My list here says that you got petrified to death that time by some sort of nasty floating gorgon head.
Yep.
No offense to Dusa. Sounds like a pretty painful way to go, though. Hey, at least you got to be a statue for a little while. I like statues.
Why do I even click on you when I spawn? I know I fucking hate you. Why do I do this to myself? Anyways, the House of Hades is basically your starting area hub, right? It's where each run will begin, which in most games isn't really a point of interest. I mean, who fucking cares? But in this game, instead of death being an annoying occurrence, it's just one more opportunity to travel back home to have new interactions with characters and advance the story. And there's a lot to see and hear here. Maybe not so much at first, as the house is pretty restrictive to begin with, but as you become more successful in runs, more and more of it starts to open up, including entirely new rooms, characters, and advancement options.
How much is the reimbursement fee anyway?
Whichever exorbitant amount the house contractor has on record. Now leave me be.
Also, your dad's a dick. But speaking of the house contractor, thanks, Dad! This is where you further develop not just the house of Hades with upgrades and cosmetics, but perks to your actual runs through the underworld and beyond. You see, the underworld must perpetually be maintained for its population only grows and grows. So while the contractor can offer you things like fixing a room that perhaps your three-headed dog has ransacked, or changing your room drapes from green to purple, you can also spend currency upon it to give you things like the chance for rooms on your run to contain gold urns that drop gold currency, which can help you to progress. And to further accentuate the characters you meet here, you may offer them gifts in the form of nectar, which can offer you a different set of upgrades, most notably keepsakes, which we'll get to here in a minute. At the end of your house is your room, where you will find the ill-fated list. This is basically gameplay achievement goals that have multiple parts to them you must complete to receive the reward. Next to it is the Mirror of Night, which is your character's progression tree. At first there's only a couple of skills here to upgrade, but as you collect keys from your runs, you can unlock additional skills and eventually variants to every one of them, which you can change around freely before each of your runs. Finally, before you actually start your run, you got to make a couple of last decisions. First of all is your keepsake box, which I mentioned earlier. A really good one to start the game with is, of course, this old spiked collar. You can get it by gifting Cerberus, your dog, next to your dad, some of the gifts. It starts you off right off the bat with 50 extra health, which is really good in the beginning. But then as you go, you can progress and unlock different keepsakes through talking to people and gifting them, and each of them requires so many encounters to rank up and become better. Then you got to select your weapon, and there's a bunch of fun ones to choose here. The bow is probably my least favorite, but even its combat is just fucking awesome. You can cosplay Conan the Barbarian here. You can be fucking, I don't know, spear guy. I don't know who uses the spear. You can roleplay as the cat.
Touch me with that if you want.
You can be Legolas from Lord of the Rings. You can be Doomfist from Overwatch with double the Doomfist. You can also be, I don't actually even know what this thing is. Can someone come tell me what the fuck this thing even is? I don't know. It's a lot of fun to use, though. It's like a railgun. It has some launchability shit, too. And that is where the real fun begins. The game is always up front with what you are clearing a room for. It's never random. Most rooms have multiple doors you can choose from to proceed, all with an icon on them telling you exactly what awaits on the other side, whether it be gem currency, keys, or actual god boons and favors, which is the heart and soul of what makes each run feel so unique. And the gods. Holy shit, the gods. You meet a great variety of them, some of them more often than others, and some you probably won't even talk to until after you have fully cleared a run or two. And each and every one of them are so beautifully written and acted, it's just insane. They have so much to say you will literally almost never hear the same thing twice, and each interaction with them is a blessing in itself.
Chaos can evolve.
All right, get ready for this, Zagreus, because I seldom share the greatest of my hunting secrets like I am about to.
You can gift the gods on any run too to further enhance what may be made available to you. You're always presented with 3 options, and seeking out the same god through the next rooms can allow you to stack or upgrade your chosen abilities to make them even more powerful. And sometimes a room can even have the favors of multiple gods next to each other. Here you must decide which god you favor, which will incur a wrath from the opposing god in the room, sending a wave of enemies at you which you have to clear in order to be forgiven.
You could have avoided this outcome any number of ways, yet still you risk incurring my wrath.
On the flip side, sometimes gods can be paired in a positive way, where instead of having to choose, they actually work together to grant you what's called a duo favor, doubling the fun in a more powerful way. And again, these interactions with these gods are so good and well written, I've intentionally avoided the longer, more engaging conversations here for the sake of spoilers. And oh shit, I forgot about Charon. Charon is absolutely the most well-written and voiced character ever in a video game.
Well, look at you, Charon, mate. You're looking well. Something's different about you. Can't quite put my finger on it. Have you done something with your hair?
This dude actually has so much to say that often I have real-world conversations with him. Yo, Charon, my man. I was just curious what your thoughts on neoliberalism in our current society is. You know, capitalism with the gloves on. Holy shit, that's so fucking profound. Look, I could keep talking about this game for like another hour, but what is the point? If I haven't made it clear by now, everyone and their fucking grandmother should play this video game. It's legit the bee's knees, okay? The only game I've played this year that I would say is even remotely close to being better than this is Ghost of Tsushima, and that says boatloads. It is on the PS4 currently, which is a huge bummer, but if you have an Xbox or a PC, you really owe this to yourself. I mean it, even if you're an asshole to play this game. I put about 40 hours into it so far, which is more than worth its $25 price tag. Just make sure if you're a PC player, you use a controller. I mean, the game recommends this on the startup screen, but seriously, you need a controller. Anyways, to close, I give this game an 83 out of 5. Fucking buy it. I love you guys. Burn in hell. I'll catch you later.